All right, we're going to try this again. For those of you who were on a couple of minutes ago, I realized that my battery was about to die, so I had to plug in the cord, which means you're going to have to go sideways today or tonight. So if you're here, let me know you're here. Give me a thumbs up. Nobody's online. All right, guys, come on. All right, well, I'm going to get started. I was kind of excited about this topic when I read it this morning right before I left for work, or maybe it was after I got to work. I read it kind of wrong though, because I thought it was about cooking. And so all day long I thought about cooking. And then I got back tonight and was getting ready to do the video, and I realized it's not about cooking, it's about dinner time. So my earliest memories of dinner time were big family dinners in Texas. And I know my grandparents, both my mom's side and my dad's side, had huge family get-togethers every Sunday. And so we would go to church and then go home, and sometimes grandmothers and moms would be up early in the morning cooking before we left, and there'd always be a ham or a roast or something in the oven, and then we'd all come back and scramble to cook the last few things and get the gelatin salads out and set the table, and then we'd all sit down and have a great dinner and great conversation. And I loved it. I loved it. At home with my own parents, we usually ate at the dining room table, and we had a hard, fast rule. You had to try 2 bites of everything. Whether you liked it or not, you had to try 2 bites. And I think my mom still probably tries to inflict that on everybody in the family, although she's finally kind of mellowed the last few years because she has so many vegans and nightshade-free people and gluten-free people that she kind of has given up on all of us and says, let's just go out to eat most of the time. But she does still try to talk people into food. So I grew up knowing that the best way to show love was to feed people. And so I probably overfed my first 2 kids a lot. And I loved to cook. I didn't really like cleaning up the mess that much. So we kind of divided and conquered. Every week somebody had a different chore, and 1 week of the month we'd do the dishes, and 1 week of the month we'd do other chores. But I always try to get my first 2 kids involved in cooking from a really early age. I can remember my daughter actually had her own kitchen cabinet on the bottom that had no door lock on it. And she had her own little pots and pans and her little pitcher, and she had boxes of cereal, and she could make her own breakfast by the time she was 3 years old. My son, from the time he was old enough to sit on the counter, would hand him a bowl and a spoon and say, mix this and mix that. And both of those kids grew up to be great cooks. A lot of it had to do with scouting as well. We did a lot of Girl Scouting and a lot of Boy Scouting. And in scouting, they split all the chores up, and the kids all get an opportunity to